So we are live, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Uh, I welcome everyone who's here today with us. And I don't know, guys, if you know what special day is tomorrow. 20th July is International Moon Day. So that's a day when people all around the world will photograph the moon and have discussions about the moon and so on. So for that, today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Amit Raka, and he is going to take you all through a journey of how to photograph the moon and maybe other celestial objects with just your mobile phone. Okay, so let me introduce Amit Raka. He is the co-founder of Crux View Center, which is a science education institute. He's a passionate educator and astronomy advocate. He's renowned for his innovative teaching, and he inspires curiosity through hands-on learning, science programs, and citizen science achievements. His work bridges education and exploration, fostering a deep connection with science among students and future innovators. So he has a lot of achievements. He has, several discoveries and other achievements in citizen science projects. He has given a lot of talks and his on astrophotography, and his photographs have been shared in a lot of different websites. So, with that, Amit, I welcome you here today, and I request you to please share your words with us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mila Mitra ma'am and Space India for giving me an opportunity, a stage where I can inspire young minds, especially because these are the future astronomers, as very clearly we can see. So this may become a point of inspiring them to pursue a career, to have an hobby, or to explore the night sky as much as possible. Welcome and very good afternoon to one and all. Today, we will be mostly looking at some basic parts of it, how and why astrophotography, or mostly mobile moon photography. And I understand the curiosity and the enthusiasm all of you might be having for the moon photography, especially with the mobile phone. And there might be a lot of questions regarding the same because moon and mobile, how it is possible. We will explore it one by one. This is just a question from my side, and you can answer in the comment box, YouTubers especially. Youth, what we call youth. Youth has a superpower. There is one superpower that every youth have. Physiologically, we do understand there is restrictions. There are certain things, certain elements we can't control. But yes, psychologically, youth is something with a power, a single element of a psychology that helps you to be a youth. I'll leave it to you. In between, after 3 4 slides, I'll come back and I'll check out. Can anybody answer what is one power that makes you youth? It doesn't matter the age. If you have that, definitely you will always be a youth, irrespective of age. Definitely. So this is there are 2 3 questions I'll say that has always wondered me as a child. Have like many a times I have seen moon in the daytime. So have you seen the moon in the daytime? And how did you encounter it the first time ever? And what were the questions that you had? Because for me, it was fascinating because that's the kind of stories we have heard about the moon that comes in the night. So that I've always made a picture that moon can only be seen during the night time. So that was something engraved in the you can say memories. So it was pretty fascinating when first time I encountered that moon was visible during the daytime. When there is sun, I can see the moon. So that was pretty fascinating for me. I had definitely thousands of questions, and definitely I have troubled my science teacher with regarding these kind of questions. And also, like, moon follows us. So now this was the most fascinating question for me because it has troubled me a lot. And when we used to walk, it used to follow. When we used to travel, it used to follow. So it was pretty. amusing and at the same time pretty surprising that why the moon is following us. These are the questions as a child definitely I had encountered, and it was definitely not very soothing, but not also scary also. But it was fascinating to explore these kind of questions and get the answers of this by our own. Coming back now, there are some myths. I will definitely like you to go through it. What all the myths we have about the night sky. Definitely, some of them might be knowing already. What are the myths that are carried out of the night sky? But I'll go with three, 4 points, and we'll take ahead with the session. Now, moon cannot be seen during the daytime. As I said, this was a myth from my side also as a child. So definitely many people think about this because they have never encountered or they have never been taught this way that moon can be seen during the daytime. So when, how, in which phases moon is visible during the daytime, this is something you will be able to go through in your textbooks. But yes, if you see mostly after full moon, you might be able to see the moon during the early daytime. This is something pretty amazing. All of you, if you see stars twinkle in the night sky. Now, this is pretty uh, common to see the stars are twinkling, and the stars are twinkling. It is not the star, but the atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere will make them twinkle and not the star because our nearest star never twinkles, for us at least. These two questions now, Polaris has always been a pole star, and Polaris is the brightest star. So Indians mostly might have heard Dhruva Tara. So, we have wandered around these stories. Dhruva Tara is the brightest star that will guide you towards the north and all those stories. So I'll first of all, go to the previous question. Polaris has always been the pole star. So it's a yes for our lifetime. But when we talk about the astronomical events, so it is a no, because every 12,000 years you will see the pole star changes. So yes, Polaris has always not been the pole star. And the brightest star and the stories we Indians might have heard. So, exploring this point, I encountered in here, like you guys also can go and try to explore. I have gone back to almost 12,000 years back, wherein I can see 12,500 years back. Vega was the star, or it was very close to the pole. So that makes, I don't know that. I'm not claiming, I'm being very clear. I have just observed it. So this is my observation, what I have done. So if Vega was very close to the pole star, so definitely it can be a brightest star because Sirius is the first one and Vega is the second brightest star in the night sky. So possibly the stories that are coming down from there that Polaris is the brightest star. Mostly it carried forward and it was being communicated as it is, even though it was, it's no more a pole star, but maybe. Coming to shooting star, are the real stars? Definitely, many of us think that, and it is coming from ages when we didn't knew much about the, space. So yes, it used to seem that these small stars are, falling down, something like that. But today, because of science, we know they are basically rocks floating in the space and they enter the Earth's atmosphere. That's how we see the shooting stars. Now, why to photograph moon? The main motto of our today's session. First of all, it is the most closest celestial body to our Earth, and it's really beautiful. I'll mind it because it doesn't matter when and at what phase you see, moon is always the most beautiful object in the night sky because it is close, so it is pretty big, bright, and always changing. There are number of phases every time, every day you will see different phases of the moon, and that is pretty fascinating because it doesn't matter how much you explore, you will always see something different in the moon, and it's pretty amazing to capture in its different phases, to document it with different planets, different stars at every various events. It's really magnificent. You can see the craters and shadows. If at all you have an access to telescope, then I'll say definitely it is mind-boggling. You can literally see beautiful craters on the moon. You can explore many of the craters. Every phase of the moon has its own crater, and it is always pretty amazing to observe the same craters, even though if you observe, it's amazing. But imagine, 14 days, 14 different, phases of the moon, and you will see different craters altogether. It's really good. It's magnificent. No telescopes needed to start, definitely. I wouldn't say that without telescope, you cannot start photography. You can. Today, we have, mobile phones with 100x zoom. So definitely, they can even capture the craters of the moon or at least the marrays of the moon are very clear. Craters, I'll say very few of them are visible. Tycho is one of them. But mare definitely are visible. The gray part or the gray patches on the moon are very clearly visible, even with the mobile phone. But our aim is to photograph moon in the night sky. So even if you don't have zoom, nothing to worry. We can still explore and photograph the moon. Coming back, I hope few of them might have guessed till now. And even though if you didn't, let's understand what is one thing that keeps you young. And when I say young and youth, it also means that you are in the learning phase. That's why some people learn their entire life. Learning never stops for them. And for some, they stop learning, they are no more youth, and they move towards the old age. That is one of the biggest thing we need to understand. And if you have guessed curiosity, it's the right answer. Because curiosity is the most powerful, quality that you can ever perceive, or at least you can own it. The more curiosity you have, the more youth you will be. But it should come with one thing, that is discipline. Curiosity with discipline will always fetch you good, but curiosity without discipline can be a disaster. And believe me, it can be a disaster. So always remember, discipline is also necessary. So curiosity with discipline will always keep you young. Doesn't matter what age you are going through, because you are always ready to learn. You are ready to accept that, yes, I don't know. I need to learn. So remember, curiosity with discipline will take you always ahead. Coming to moon phases. Now, this is something pretty amazing because we are trying to understand a 3D, phases of the moon in 2D object, which is pretty difficult. So this is most closest possible, representation of the moon. How does moon actually go in different phases? So the inner circle is actually showing us or depicting us on what part of the moon the light actually is. It reflects the sunlight, and half of it doesn't. So doesn't matter in which phase of the moon is for us. Always 50% will be reflecting the sunlight, and 50% will be in the dark side or the far side of the so-called far side. It is not dark, but it is far side of the moon. What matters is which part of that is visible to us. So, as you can see in the photograph, when the moon is between sun and earth, it's always a new moon because the light reflecting from the moon surface is going back to the sun. And the opposite one is the full moon. So, this is how the phases of the moon happens. And there is something known as tidal lock, because of which we always see only the one side of the moon. So now this is something you will explore as per your academics, how tidal lock and what tidal locking and how different phases of moons occurs. Moving forward, this kind of photographs is something you can capture with any mobile phone, right from the basic mobile phone. Definitely, this is a zoomed version. I have cropped this image, but this is how beautiful the crescent moon looks like. Now, in the photograph, if you can see, I have labeled two dots as Mercury and Venus. Now, this is something you might have to always, learn, cater, and understand the movement of the planets, stars, and the moon on what day, what planets will be visible near to the moon, or where moon is jumping, in which constellation it is jumping. So, you can refer. I'll show you in a while what all steps you can take to understand the night sky. But let's explore some photographs first. So definitely, I hope you like these photographs. Some are, pardon me for the quality, because these are mobile photographs, so they are not that magnificent. Maybe what you might have always seen on the internet. These are mobile photographs you can explore as per your understanding. This is one of the phase, I'll say, definitely, which has always fascinated me. It is always amazing to capture. because you see both at the same time. On the full moon day, you will always see sunrise with moon set. So this is pretty amazing. Now, why am I saying pretty amazing? Because you need to visualize this in your brain that sunlight is directly falling on the moon, and that moonlight, like moon, is reflecting back into Earth, and now you are able to see the moon right in front of the sun. It's amazing the way you can visualize it in your brain and understand how this mechanism is working. Again, sunrise, definitely, it's filled with beautiful colors. And on the other hand, when moon sets, definitely, it's not as vibrant as sun. So you might not be able to see the different colors, but it is at the night phase of the sky. So yes, this is how. Again, one of the photograph in a single frame, panoramic. So over the right, you can see there is sun, but over the left, there is a white dot. Actually, that is the moon. I understand it's pretty small, but just to make you understand, I have taken this panoramic photograph. It is of the next day, so that's the reason moon is a bit above the horizon. So this is how you can actually document also. Documentation is something you can opt for. Take a project, for example, and try to uh, make a record of every single day where actually moon is traveling, how it is traveling, in which phase it is traveling. So you can portray it in a very beautiful way. It is all your imagination and your expectations about moon. You can frame it the way you want. Now this is Milky Way with two planets and a moon. So I'll just go through it. So if you can see, this is moon over here, and near to it, this faint star is actually Saturn. This is Jupiter, and Milky Way is somewhere around here. So now you will say, sir, how can you say that this is Jupiter, Saturn, and Milky Way? Again, as I said earlier, you might have to track down any of the night sky app through which you can go through it and track every single day where are the planets, where is the moon, where is the Milky Way. Now this is actually was I'll say summer was a Milky Way season, and if any one of you might have seen, and anyone is in the very dark skies, you are lucky enough, you might be able to spot Milky Way. No worries. If you have missed this summer, in winter season, it will be coming back. So after November, you might be able to see the Milky Way core again. So until then, be ready and try to explore. This is moon halo. Now, definitely, I won't say this is very rare phenomena, but also it is not significantly common in India at least. Now, this is moon halo, wherein you can see very clearly a ring is formed around the moon. A kind of halo is also something I have captured and which has been selected as top 10 photographs in 2021. It was selected as top 10 photograph throughout the world. Even I didn't knew when I was capturing that it was that rare of photograph. I'll just show you how beautiful that looks. But this is a halo wherein you can see there is a ring forming around the moon. And again, in the frame, we can see Jupiter and Saturn. Now, these all photographs are, captured with the mobile phone. I'm being very clear. Poco X2 was the mobile phone, very simple mobile phone. Nothing, no fancy mobile phones also required. You can capture with any mobile phone, literally any mobile phone that has a camera. You can start capturing the night sky with moon. Now, this is what I was talking about. Here you can see if I come from the right bottom, first is moon, then is Venus, then comes Saturn, and then comes Jupiter. So now you can document because moon will jump every single day. Moon is going to jump 13 degree ahead. So now if you see the next day, what happens is moon is now in between Venus and Saturn. Then next day it will jump close to the Saturn, then next to the Saturn, then next to the Jupiter. So this is how moon will always jump. This is something you can document and frame it. I have captured it and I will show you definitely. I have captured a, excuse me, sorry, close-up photograph of moon and Venus also. So let's explore. Again, that is from the moon, sorry, from the mobile phone. So this is how it looks. I understand, not very great quality, but yes, definitely it's worth because when you starting with the equipment that you have is something you need to understand, and that might be fascinating for you, but not for everyone. So people who understand the emotions behind the photograph, they understand how beautiful it looks when you are photographing it for the first time. Now, trying to understand the camera is something very important. We are not going to go into the details of it today, but try to understand your eyes is what your camera is. So we can say camera is an enhanced version or a mechanical version or electronic version of what our eyes can see. So what we are trying to do over here is we are trying to enhance our vision through cameras. So today we have cameras which can see beyond our visible spectrums also. So we have different kinds of cameras. So basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to enhance our senses and our conveniences. So you need to understand your camera as much as possible because this is a first ever encounter, as I'm pretty sure everyone might have experienced this. Suppose the orange color sun that you see in the background is the size of the moon to your eyes. And when you actually see, so it is the same, what you saw in the previous photographs. So that is the biggest disappointment usually when you start having expectation that what your eyes is capable of seeing, that is what my camera sees. No, that is not how it works. Your eyes are very different than a camera. So that is what you need to get acquainted with. How the camera sees and what your eye sees is completely different. You might have to play with the settings in the pro mode or in the normal mode. That's how you need to gradually understand your own camera. That might take a bit of time, but definitely devote 15-20 minutes every day rather than focusing 4 hours 5 hours a day or once in a week. You can go for 15-20 minutes every day. That will give you a very good idea about how your camera works. Go in the daytime, go in the nighttime, try to explore every time possible. Now, coming to certain elements that I told you earlier, how to understand. Now, understanding the night sky is very important. For that, you can explore Stellarium, PC version, or any of the night sky app that is available on the Google Play Store. Go for the free version initially because you don't need to invest right now. You can opt for any of the free version app, and that's completely, trust. And anyways, it's just the night sky, so you don't need to invest a lot. You can explore the planets, you can explore the moon. Where is the moon? Which phase of the moon you might be able to see? At what time you might be able to see the moon rise, moon set, and all. Try exploring those things because understanding the movement of the night sky is very important. And anyways, in your syllabus, you definitely might have explored different constellations. So every month has its own importance. Every month we will see different features or different constellations, and finding it through the reference star is something pretty magnificent because it will show you the directions also. If you will see and if you follow, you will see the east and west very clearly eventually when once you start understanding the constellations. So you do not need always sun and moon to understand where is east and west. Gradually, once you understand where the constellation usually rise and where it sets, so you are good to go to understand the directions also. And definitely, as I said, understanding your camera is way more important. And when it comes to night time photography, stability is very important. Sturdiness is very important. So definitely, you must have a tripod, but not very necessary because you can even opt for some support. Take any books or usually I called it a dagad pod. So simply take a stone or anything that can support your mobile phone to be steady. Start your photographing, and you are good to go. Shooting is important, and post processing is also equally important when it comes to night photography or astrophotography. Especially in astrophotography, processing is what is needed because you can enhance, you can take out all the details that is usually hidden inside the photograph. So post processing is a part of astrophotography and doesn't mean that you are editing or you are creating image or fake image. It's not like that. When it comes to astrophotography, you are simply trying to extract the data that is hidden inside the image. So post processing is important, but it is a later on part. It is an advanced part which you can learn later on. Normal photo editing is something you can do in your mobile phones also. Let's go through all the images, but I'm mentioning some details over here, that is shutter speed and ISO especially, because that is something, if people know, if you students know about it, it's good, well and good. If you don't know, don't worry. Try to explore the pro mode in any of the mobile phone. You will gradually understand what is shutter speed and what is ISO. In short, I can say shutter speed, controls the shutter of your camera for how many, for how much time it should be open and capture the image. Whereas ISO is the sensitivity of your sensor. So remember, higher the ISO, the more grainy image it will, like, the quality of the image will deteriorate. So remember, only touch the ISO when it is required. Try to play with the other settings first, but if not, then this definitely you can go and increase the ISO as and when needed. So the same photograph in a different angle. So you can see Milky Way galaxy is somewhere in between Jupiter and Moon, and Moon is in the constellation of Scorpius. Very clearly. Earlier, the visibility of my sky was pretty good. Nowadays, like it's pretty light polluted, so we don't have, or at least I don't enjoy this dark skies at least for now. So you can see over here, 32 seconds was my shutter speed, and ISO was 400. When I say 32 seconds, understand the mobile phone has to be steady. No movement at all for 32 seconds, plus minus 1 2 seconds here and there, because slightest movement can create a disturbance in your photograph. That's why I recommended to have a steady platform or at least a tripod wherein you can go and explore, the possibilities or the photographs you can capture with your mobile phone. Or simply you can start with the zenith point. Now zenith point is the overhead point. What you can do is put the timer in your mobile phone for 10 seconds maybe in the pro mode, and go for a single photograph and keep your mobile upside down facing upward. So start with that initially if you don't have tripod and all. So you will see how your mobile phone is capturing beautiful night skies with moon, planets, and whatever is possible for you to capture. Now, this is something I have always enjoyed, and I still enjoy this because my kids enjoy seeing these kind of photographs with me. This is ISS, International Space Station. Yes, you can actually, predict, or you can know when ISS is going to pass over your city. You can log into NASA and you can register yourself. So they will intimate you through email before, prior to the day that ISS is going to go above your city. Other details you might have to fill, but it's pretty amazing because these kind of images are something you can capture. Now you can see there is moon in the frame, but also there is International Space Station. So you can see the difference, especially for the secondary students. Try to understand how much has moon moved and how much have International Space Station moved in the same span of time for us. You can see a huge difference. So this is how it works. If this is a very similar phenomenon that happens when you are traveling inside a car or a railway, wherein you will see the closer object moves very fast compared to a far beyond maybe a mountain or anything. So this is something needs to be understood. These are very related phenomenons, and it's amazing to see this. And this is something you can capture. Believe me, you don't need expertise knowledge. What you need is curiosity to explore your own camera settings, understanding angles, everything. Whatever you might have learned in your math and science is something is the time to implement with the mobile phone. And it's amazing to see how much it travels in a one frame. And you may be sometime lucky to get ISS with a meteoroid shower, if possible. I know if lucky enough also. So again, the settings are the same, 32 seconds and 400, because that's the ideal setting for me and my home terrace. So that is how I usually capture in the night sky. Now, these are the photographs which I have documented, published, and also have been recognized for. So this is something I'll definitely recommend you go for it, understand, and try to see how you can explore the entire night sky. Now, this is one of the photographs, as I said earlier, was being featured in 2021 on the Earth sky, and it was selected as top 10 photograph. Now, this was something very magnificent I saw and I witnessed, wherein you can see very distinctively all the colors of the rainbow. Now, this is moon, and because of the clouds and the ice formation in the night sky, the technicalities of it, we see these beautiful colors. But it was really amazing to witness this. I can't even, express in words that it was so beautiful to witness with the eyes. Definitely, the colors were not that prominent, what you can see in the photograph, but yes, we were able to witness the colors of the rainbows around the moon. Faint, but yes, it was visible. Now, this is what I was talking about. If you want, you can document. This is post processing where you can arrange. So you can see right from 21st of February to 24th of February, I have documented how the moon is moving in the evening sky with respect to, again, Mercury and Venus. So now these are two planets very much visible in the night sky. So mostly, sorry, it's not Venus. Jupiter and Venus, they are very bright color, bright and shining really bright. So the most brightest is the Venus, and the less bright is actually the Jupiter. I understand it's the opposite because Venus is the brightest. It is the brightest in our night sky. But yes, you can see how moon is jumping every single day, and it looks beautiful. When you document in a way, it looks amazing. So these kind of documents, you can document everything right from moon, planets, constellations, anything you wish to, and it will be in your records in that way. Now, this is something you can capture every single year. It's not something, it's pretty rare, but yes, it is amazing. Even if you see every year, it's still magnificent, it's still amazing, and it still attracts all the amateur astronomers to capture these kind of photographs. Now, this is known as the winter circle. So it comes in winters, definitely. So you might have to wait for some time. But yes, these are six constellations with six stars connecting and making a hexagon. I understand, but it is called winter circle and also winter triangle, which you can see in the red color I have highlighted. And also you can track down in which phase the moon or on which dates you will see moon entering the winter circle and exiting the winter circle, because that is what I have always documented. And it's nice to observe every day how it enters the winter circle, how it exits the winter circle, and how different stories of Indian origin have correlated all the 27 nakshatras with moon. So that's how you can enjoy your topic or your academics with actual life observation. Now these are some of the common questions I would like to address, because I understand in most of the sessions these are pretty common questions I get. Which is the best mobile phone or mobile for capturing the night sky or moon? I would definitely recommend one phone that you have. Doesn't matter which phone you have. A phone with a camera is more than enough to start. Simply start with the phone you already have with you. Try to understand what is the maximum limit you can reach with your own mobile phone. Gradually start with it. Don't jump to purchase some fancy items to capture the night sky or start with photography. Start with whatever you have right now with you, and you will see in itself it has a lot of potential. You might have to devote a lot of time. Brutal scale is something definitely it will impact your photographs. Now, brutal scale is like measuring the darkness of skies. So the darker the sky, definitely you will be having very beautiful photographs. But even though if you are in some cities and metropolitan cities, don't get disheartened. Definitely, you won't get as much as stars. A person sitting in four brutal sky, but it's okay. At least you can start with it. And whenever you get an opportunity to go outside the city or in the outskirts of the city, I'll definitely recommend to capture some of the photographs so that you can, understand the difference between living inside the city and outside the city. There is a huge difference. And which season is the best? Usually, if you will ask me, I'll say all the seasons are definitely good because every season has its own importance. Now, one of my photographs was captured in the rainy season because, between the clouds, you can see the photograph was captured. So I never imagined that, I will be able to capture such rare photograph. So I'll just say go and give it a try. Doesn't matter which season it is. You might even see, the moon get hiding behind the clouds. You can take a time lapse if you have that feature in your mobile phone. It takes continuous photograph. In summer season, definitely most of the skies are clear, so you can capture the moon and the constellation, moon and the planets. In winter season, you can have moon halo, Milky Way galaxy, different constellations, and the winter circle. So definitely, every season has its own beauty. So try to capture the beauty of every season and explore the night sky. Now, these are again some not very recommended, I'll say, or not very necessary, but some of them are like tripod, as I said. If you have it, it's okay. If you don't have it, doesn't matter. Stabilize the surface. Have a very sturdy, area wherein you can keep your mobile and try to capture. Even a mobile stand will do. If you have a mobile stand, that will also, may do the work for moon photography, at least for horizon, I'll say. Tap to focus is something you might have to explore in your mobile phone. If it is not being activated, go and try to check or activate this feature, because this is very necessary when it comes to mobile moon photography, because you have to manually do the focusing thing. So it helps a lot. Reducing the brightness is necessary because you are working during the night time. So definitely it affects your eyes also, and also it affects the battery life because you are going to capture for a long period of time. So usually recommended to keep the brightness to, adequate. I won't say minimum, but at least adequate enough that it doesn't hurt your eyes for a long time. Timer, earlier as I mentioned, timer is very necessary because it will avoid the shake, unnecessary shake that might occur because of your touch. You might be feeling that like there is no movement, but believe me, even if you walk on the terrace, that movement is also captured by mobile phone. If you have that much of zoom, it can, you can very clearly see in your photographs. That's how sensitive it is. So remember to stabilize it and keep the timer on. Zoom slowly whenever it comes to video. If you have access to telescope, zooming feels definitely good, but go slow. Don't jump suddenly because that will give a smooth movement of exploring the moon gradually. It feels really good. So go slow and gradually. It looks really good for videos of moon. Uh, these are some of the links. It's okay. You can tap it. I'll now, make you go through all the photographs that I have captured with Poco X2 and a 10 inches Dobsonian, which is for the moon. And for solar, I have mostly used 70 scope. So not a very, big and fancy telescope, 70 but still you can explore sunspots. I have captured the entire series of, solar eclipse through this. And keep your questions ready. In a short while, I'm mostly done with my presentation. So whatever questions you have, post in the comments. I'll be, trying to get as many questions as possible today. So let's explore the photographs, what all you can do with your telescope and the mobile phone. So this is how beautiful moon actually looks when it comes to telescope and mobile phone, because now you can very clearly see some of the craters, and I'll say not some of the many of the craters you can see in detail, magnificently clear, magnificently clear. The first experience, I'll definitely say it will mesmerize you. It will mesmerize you for the kind of details you are able to witness it. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. So slowly, gradually, as you see different kinds of craters, you will explore. So the top right part is actually the south of the moon, and we can see uh, Chandrayaan 3 is something which has landed towards the south pole of the moon. So definitely, you can't see the Chandrayaan 3 landing site, but yeah, you can just guess it out where it is tentatively. So that is also pretty amazing to spot where, or approximately where it might have landed, or the so-called, we have named it Shiv Shakti point. So we can try to see that, okay, this is Shiv Shakti point, but it's again a later on part, something you can explore. Now, this is a bit of Zoom version of the same thing. I have zoomed with the mobile phone because every phone has a Zoom facility. So this is how you can attain with the mobile phone also, and it's pretty decent. I won't say that is not good. Definitely pretty decent photographs you can capture, and this is a single photograph. This is not an advanced technique wherein I use to stack all the photographs. That is also something I have explored. I'll show you if time permits. But yes, that is a different part wherein you need a bit of advanced skills where you can capture a video and post process it and make a single photo like out of it. But yeah, this is a single photograph, so that's how beautiful it looks. Now this is an event which was definitely very rare, as you can see. It is once in 20 years you can see Jupiter and Saturn coming that close. Now they are just in one frame, just 25 lens, and they are in the one frame. You can see four Galilean moons of Jupiter and even two moons of Saturn. One of them is Triton, definitely. So, it's amazing. It's magnificent. You can keep track of such kind of events of the year, which, if possible, if you have access, you can capture. And even though if you can't capture through telescope, at least you can capture with your mobile phone. So it's amazing to document everything that you have seen in the night sky. So it was 21st of December, 2020, when this event actually happened, when Jupiter and Saturn actually came very close, and that conjunction was not normal. That's why it was named as the Great Conjunction, because it was, so close, less than a degree, you can say 6 degrees. They were in the single frame. Again, full photograph of the moon, again with the mobile phone and a telescope. And you can see the shutter speed and ISO that I have kept over here, because my priority was shutter speed, because the moon is moving really very fast. I have zoomed in with the telescope. So my first priority was to not have a blurry image of the moon. So I have to boost the ISO. And I understand that, you will say that, sir, you were saying the higher the ISO, the quality will be compromised. But, there is something known as post processing, in which you can really pull down the grains to a very good extent and, get the details of the moon. And if I'm not wrong, today you can capture somewhat like this photograph with some of the mobile phones which have the capacity of, zooming in maybe 100x, like um, Samsung S24 also has that capability, and 25 also have Ultra. And Realme also have some phones, and Vivo, like most of the brand have those kind of phones which have 100x zooms. And also, definitely, you can capture this photograph just with your mobile phone, and that also handheld photograph. Even you don't need a tripod for it. Definitely, if you have a tripod, you will have an advantage. But without tripod, also you can capture these kind of photographs. That's the level of technology we have achieved today. Now, this is the eclipse that I was mentioning earlier. All the phases of the eclipse I have captured with 70 telescope, and it was on 21st June 2020. Unfortunately, in India, we won't have any eclipses till 2030 or 2035. It's in between. There are small one, two eclipses, but 2035 is the one where we will see mostly a very good solar eclipse. So people in India, don't get disheartened. We will be seeing surely in 2035, but till that time, you can explore and start, improving your skills so you can witness these kind of events. These are no fun facts, definitely. Some of them might be knowing about it, but for people who don't know about, moon is definitely drifting, 3.8 centimeters per year. Doesn't seems to be very significant, but believe me, it is. It is very significant, the amount at which it is moving or drifting away from the Earth, and it has a very catastrophic effect on the Earth also if it drifts away very quickly. Yes, there are no winds on the moon, as there is no, I won't say no, but very thin layer of atmosphere. Moon has a very thin layer of atmosphere, which makes it impossible winds for to go away. So that's one of the reason, when Neil Armstrong might have stepped on the moon, is it will stay for a million years. The footstep will be remained as it is, same as it was, and that's why we see the craters of the moon as it is. Maybe million years back, the moon has that cratered, and still we can witness it. Moon dust smells like burning gunpowder. I don't understand. It sounds good, but that's how it is. So, Moon challenge, yes. This is something I will definitely recommend for the students of Space India, and for the organizers who have arranged for them for their students. You should capture, you should document, you should connect with your teachers, and upload it on the moon over us. It's a very beautiful platform wherein you can share your memories, share your knowledge, share your observations you might have done. Different padlets will be allotted to you. You can upload your photographs, document it, be in touch with your teacher. They will guide you for the further details about it, how you can upload it, how you can arrange it, how you can make the content for the photograph that you have captured. So it will help you to understand, so you can refer it at any point of time whenever you want, and it will be at one place. So thank you very much, guys. For now, I'll take a step back for now for a while, and we will start with some questions from the YouTubes and all. But remember, as I said earlier, discipline with curiosity. So remember, there is no rocket science in it. But yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Amit. That was great. Students have a lot of comments. I think they were getting pretty excited to try out some of the things you have suggested. And
Yes.
okay, so let me suggest a few questions. And like you say,
Okay.
yes, it is mostly they have to get out there and start figuring out themselves what you have said, when to see the moon, and how to photograph it. It's all going to be practice. Uh, yeah.
Yes.
So one of the questions is, how do we change to pro mode?
Pro mode. Okay. Okay, I'll do one thing. For a while, I'll shift my presentation to mobile, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be good. So there are two questions connected to the phone. How can we change to pro mode? And there was one more, which is yeah. I think how to change the
And it's pretty,
exposure.
exposure. Okay. That comes under now certain things, it's
Yeah, it
pretty
depends on the phone
detailed.
also, right? So
Yes, yes,
what?
yes. It depends on the phone also, and for that, you might have to, explore certain different. The phone you have, try to go on the internet and look for the videos, or even you can search for some videos wherein some people have shown how to photograph in the pro mode. Even I have my own, I'll say, videos or sessions uploaded. But yes, exploring the pro mode is not that easy. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. So even I'm not sure how to wrap it up in a short while. But yes, the only thing you can explore is shutter speed and ISO. These are the only two things. For some reason, I'm not able to share from my mobile phone. Okay, not a problem.
That's okay. You can
Acha,
just kind of mention it otherwise.
yes, I'll rather mention it. So it is just in your settings there is an option more. So select more option and in there you will see pro mode or professional mode, and these are only two things I think. So might be these two are the names where you can go and click on it, and you will see many different buttons in your camera and you will get confused. Don't worry, it's okay. Start with shutter speed. Try to change the shutter speed. You will see how the moon is, traveling in the photograph. If there is any change, you need to, the higher the shutter speed, the better it is because you can freeze any moment. The longer the shutter speed, there will be a trail in your photograph. So that is also in itself a pretty amazing,
Right,
technique to capture.
right,
So I
right.
have done many star trails and the entire North Pole star trail and all. So it's amazing. But yes, go and try with shutter speed first and then touch the ISO.
And yeah, because if you keep changing both, then that might be confusing to
Yeah, it
see
might be
the
confusing also, and you will get pretty bad photographs, and you may get disheartened that I am not able to, or I'm not meant for capturing the photographs.
right. Okay, so uh, you mentioned we have a limit of vision, but somebody made that question more complicated and asked, do we have a limit of vision because some unknown substance can blind the telescope?
Yes, definitely. Especially the city lights are something which bothers a lot when it comes to amateur astronomers or observing the night sky with the telescope, because smallest of the light source can disturb a lot. Especially the moon also. Many a times the moon also disturbs observing the night sky. There are some in photographing. The problem is the UV radiation, or the radiation that comes from the sun that is stored inside the cement or the concrete jungle that we stay in is something that radiate back during the night time, and that is the biggest problem when it comes to photographing with the telescope and the a mobile phone. So it disturbs a lot. Definitely, there are some invisible powers that are hindering our photographic skills. But yeah, that's
Right,
science behind it. Nothing to worry.
right. So, okay, so one of the questions is, can we photograph supernovas? I mean,
Oh, that
I
is
mean,
something I'm.
and that's not some, yeah. So there, we, Amit Raka here today has discussed how to do it with mobile photography. But, to capture supernovas, you have to really go through observatory telescopes and space telescopes and go to that level of powerful telescopes and use their camera to photograph supernovas.
I would like to add one more point.
Right.
Uh, I don't know what to say. Like, should we pray for it or should we not pray for it? But suppose in your lifetime, if you are able to witness the supernova or the death of Betelgeuse, so definitely
Right.
there might be a chance that you might be able to witness. Maybe from a week to a month, you might be able to see, the entire night sky is being lighted by, the light
Right.
of the Betelgeuse.
Yeah.
So
I
let's hope for
mean,
the best.
see, well, students, if you don't know what he's trying to say, that recently Betelgeuse has been more and more in the news because it has been brightening. So that is the scientists think it is brightening because it may lead to a supernova explosion. So yeah, let's see when that happens. Okay, so more questions. Why sometimes in Goa the moon moves very fast? I'm not sure. I don't know how you'd answer this, and I'm not sure this would just be in Goa. It may be just a perception. Yeah.
Yes. Mostly, I think so. This chai, this person is trying to understand. Maybe, you might have skipped a day or so. Or as I said, everyday moon is already jumping 13 degrees, and 13 degrees is really very big, difference when it comes to night sky. And as I showed you in my documentations also, wherein you can see moon is traveling and jumping quite significantly. So yes, if you see maybe after 2 days also, you will see, my goodness, on the same time, like suppose 6 o'clock, it was on the horizon today. So if I see after 3 days, it would be very close to, mostly, I'll say, right from the horizon. If I calculate, it will be 60 degree or 70 degrees. So it is traveling to that
Right.
extent. So definitely,
Yeah.
you might see someday it travels fast and someday it travels slow, because the consecutively you will feel slow. If you miss a day, it will feel, fast.
Right. Let me see if there are any more questions. Yeah. So I really liked, your picture of the winter hexagon and how you showed the moon inside that. And I also like the way you photographed the eclipse, all the different phases. So that means you were just standing by and put together all the phases. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, definitely. I'll like to share one more thing. Actually, I have burned my mobile phone camera in that process, because for a short span of time I was cleaning the filter, and for some reason there was a slight sunlight that entered the telescope and it hit the camera, and my mobile phone was burnt. The camera was burnt because
Oh,
of that.
okay. So
So be very careful.
are there any UV filters or something that they need to use
Actually,
on telescopes, but not on the phone, right? I think.
Yes, yes. Never, never ever purchase anything that is installed either on the eyepiece or on the mobile phone for solar viewing. It should always be on the telescope, and without professionals, you are never ever supposed to observe sun. Never ever. Always have some expert with you who will guide you for sun, because it can, cause your eyes. It's that dangerous. I hope you guys might have burned, paper with the magnifying glass. It is so easy to burn a paper with magnifying glass when sun is shining it at its brightest. So imagine that magnifying glass and compare it with a telescope. So it has now a bigger lens, a powerful lens. It can burn your eyes and it can damage your eyes permanently. So it is always recommended never ever to observe sun without any expert. Never. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's most of the questions we have. So yeah, but a lot of, you know, are you also looking at the YouTube?
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm trying to look.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I'm not
certificate
bringing you the
settings.
questions that are very way out.
Way out. Yes, yes, yes. I do understand. I do understand. We are already running short of time, so I understand the important questions are to
No,
be
no, no.
referred
Yeah, no.
first.
I mean, if it's completely a different kind. Sometimes people ask any general astronomy question, like where
General
will
answer.
we find the next Earth 2.0? So I'm not bringing those up because that will completely change the topic. Somebody has
Topic.
asked that.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay, so yeah, maybe this one. Is it true that half of the moon is not explored?
Not really, I will say, because today NASA has already explored
Right.
Russia was the first one who have stepped on the far side of the moon, or who have actually explored the far side of the moon. India is also planning to, have a mission to explore the far side of the moon.
Right.
So
So I
it's
think this
not a thing
question,
that we haven't.
right. I think the question, yeah, you're right, because what happened is earlier only one side was seen of the moon,
Mm.
but since because of the rotation and revolution of the moon, it's synchronized, and we only see one side. But since then, I mean, in the past, there have been missions to the moon, there have been flybys of the moon, there have even been missions landing on the moon. So now the far side is definitely well known. But yeah, somebody like you
Yes.
won't be able to photograph the far side.
Never ever from the Earth, at
Never
least.
ever, yeah. So I think that question is that yes, we can only see one side of it, right? So yeah, so I think Amit, that's most of the questions, and but students have been giving a lot of comments, so I think they're excited about trying it out, and I'm going to share the link with them about how to post, and then I will keep you in the loop and tell you how that's
Yes,
going.
yes,
But
definitely.
yeah, thanks for joining, and it was very exciting to see all the photographs you've taken and all the suggestions and techniques that you have suggested to the students.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Space India and STEM and Space.
Yeah,
And
STEM and
definitely
space.
thank you
Yeah,
so much to the STEM and Space, sorry. And
right.
also to all the audience that have made this session really possible and worthwhile. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
guys.
I mean, if you keep on seeing there are comment after comment, so they are very excited. And Amit, thanks for pointing out that you have to keep your curiosity as you get, at any age, and that's what defines youth. So yes, I would say I'm the most young person in this group.
Yes, I have
So
witnessed personally. Believe me, guys, she is the youngest in us.
right. So yeah. Thanks, Amit. That this was great. You joined us, and thanks, students. We will share the link so you can post your photographs. Okay. And with that, happy International Moon Day, everyone.